Welcome back to the Style Center. We're here another week with Tarrice Love, still sharing helpful tips. I need to know, for photographers starting out, what advice do you have for them?
I always tell new photographers, take a class. Like a film class is great. If you could take a film class, it'll change everything about what you're doing. It kind of answers a lot of your questions. I'm not a technical photographer, so when people start asking me about, what settings do you use, what f-stops, this and that, when I was in college, I wasn't good at that either. And my professor always told me, sometimes you just got to take the fucking picture and worry about all that other stuff later because you'll miss the magic. And so my focus is the magic part. Like one of my friends in New York, she's a photographer. Her name's Tanetta Bell.
Shout out to Tanetta.
Yeah, she's amazing. But I asked her, why did she want to be my assistant? And because she wanted to learn about lighting or some secret tricks or whatever. And so after she assisted me a few times, I asked her, well, what did you learn? And she was like, she said it was way more about how I handle people and how I work with people was more important
than knowing settings.
Yes, because she was like, you just not technical, and that was not fun. Because I was like, oh, he just uses a light, and he's just.
But it comes out great though.
But she said it was like how you work with people and how you treat them and how you talk to them and the way they get in front of your camera and just want to be the best because they see how interested and invested you are. So I would always tell people, treat people like the way you want them to treat you and focus on the parts that make your work yours. That would be like the number one.
What separates you from the rest of the photographers?
Why would people choose you to work with over anyone else? Like, I look at a lot of the Memphis photographers, and they're all talented and amazing. But the one thing that I do like about them is that everyone is specifically different. So you would have a specific purpose to go to this person and a specific person to go. Like, there's a photographer here named Erica Dunlap.
I know
She's really good in studio. She's really good with beauty. It would be the first person I thought of to send someone to go shoot with her because she's good with the beauty stuff, the controlled environment. And then there's another photographer named Michael Butler Jr.
I know him as well. They're part of the Memphis Creatives, and I work with them.
And I love that he shoots natural. And it looks like film stills.
And now they collab a lot together. We did like a big viral video, Wonderland. And originally they are two different people. But after that, they linked up and they assist each other. So they don't have the big head. They're able to, hey, I'll be your assistant for this project. Hey, you can be my assistant for this project. Hey, I'm filming halftime for the Grizzlies. Can you come assist me? A lot of people in the city, they're not able to, hey, I'm a photographer, why do I need to assist you? Like, their attitude.
Well, I look at it like this because people in New York are like that as well. But I never was like that because I wanted to learn something.
I could learn something from their style, their
technique. Or at least build a relationship with the people that's around them that I don't know.
And I look at it as another opportunity to get more money. Hey, I might just be at home planning and you have a shoot and I can assist you. And then I can also get new relationships, new connections. I'm networking and I'm also learning the ins and outs of your techniques.
Yes.
And I love how you're so positive. You speak good words about everyone. I've never heard you say anything negative. Your bad experiences are never shown or shared.
Because that's not the focus. And I think a lot of times, now you get me off camera and we get in a restaurant or whatever, we can kiki and I can give you some tea. But at the same time, publicly, where it can be repeated and played back over and over, or like Instagram reposted or whatever, like tweets pulled up later. I'm never going to bash a bad experience with a model. I feel like it doesn't deserve the attention, because it would outshine all of the greats, because people will focus on that one negative thing, and you had 10 amazing things that happened, and if you talk about the negative thing, that's all they're going to focus on. So like, I think that just it's not worth it. It doesn't deserve the attention. So focus on the great things. And like, even when I have bad experiences with people, it was something good that happened. So I'll just talk about that.
Lesson learned. As a photographer, what do you want to see more shown on screen?
Well, specifically with Memphis, I wish that the Memphis talents were more present, because it's hard to, if I'm not actually in Memphis, I don't get to see or experience their talents and their arts, because it just stops here. It's like preaching to the choir instead of preaching to the world. The internet, social media has opened the door for people from all over the world to know what you do. And I just see it over and over again, Memphis talents not taking advantage of that. And that was one of the things that set me apart from all of the other talents here when I was living here, because my focus was the internet, because I knew people in Switzerland was checking for me, and people in New York. That was a plus. When I moved to New York, people in New York were already familiar with me because of my online magazine that I used to have.
Yes.
So that was something that I just took advantage of. And this was before Instagram and before Facebook was even a thing. So I just wish that now that it's a thing for everyone, I wish people in Memphis would really take advantage of letting people know what you do so you can get paid. Because like, there are plenty of artists here. Their only focus is to sell their art to people in Memphis. And I was like, Memphis ain't got money like that.
You gotta think bigger.
Yes. Where people would spend crazy money on your art, where, aim higher. I used to tell people all the time that, I'm not saying not rep your city, because I rep hard. Even like when I'm in Memphis, I always have on my University of Memphis cap when I'm shooting, or I wear a University of Memphis t-shirt or something, so that people know who they dealing with.
Oh yeah.
So I rep, but I know that my money base isn't
not here.
So like, whenever I do come home to visit, people always, oh, let's set up a shoot. I was like, I was like,
no, thank you.
And it's not being mean. I just understand
your worth, your quality.
Not even my quality, the money base here. Like, my rates are people's rents. So you got to choose. Do you want to pay rent or shoot with me? And I know that that's not a realistic situation here. So I just be real about it. You can't. Not saying you can't afford me, but it's the truth. It's not what they say. The cost of living here is very different from the cost of living in New York, where even the minimum wage here is different from the minimum wage in New York.
So we have 3 questions we pulled off the internet from fans, and we need you to answer them. I want to know, they want to know. We got to give the people what they want.
Okay.
So question number 1, where do you get your inspiration from? Where do you find it?
Well, the first place I find inspiration is from music. I'm from Memphis. Memphis is a music city.
Yes.
And I be blasting it when I'm shooting, and so music is the first one, and movement and dance is another inspiration source, and I don't know, that's pretty much where it starts. That's where it starts.
Movement, dance, music.
Yes.
Memphis.
Yes.
Also, what would you like your legacy to look like?
I just want to create work that inspires people. Like, inspires them, like inspires other talent, inspires, makes people, feel good or feel something, where, I don't know. I want my legacy to mean I was here. I want people to know that I was here.
You want people to be able to look at one of your pictures and, oh, that's Tara's work.
Or at least when they do a book about the history of fashion photography, I would love to be included in that. That means that I was here. I was relevant. I was present. My work mattered on some capacity.
You're so humble. You know you are known. You know that? Are you aware of that?
Well, I went to the collective opening last week, and I took my cousin with me, and she was like, she's not an artist or anything, so this was her first time being around all the art crowd in Memphis, and people kept coming up to me, saying hey and introducing themselves. She was like, oh, I feel like I'm with a celebrity. And I was like, well, girl, it don't feel like that to me. I'm sitting here trying to know who I know, how to know these people.
They know your work. Okay, last but not least, if you could shoot one face for the rest of your life over and over again, what would be your favorite face, or what was your favorite face to shoot in the past?
Ooh. Ooh, it's hard to pick. I couldn't really pick one in the sense where it's like, it's male models offer one thing that's totally different from what female models offer, and it would be hard to just say, oh, I can only shoot one. But I would say this: if I had to pick one, it would have to be a black model, because I feel like as an artist, your work should represent who you are. And with me, I work with all types of people, but my target focus is people who look like me,
So you would say your best work, where was the model from? Your favorite?
Oh, Southern models. Like, all of my favorite images that I've shot were models of color from the South. They just have a totally different energy
And confidence that comes across on, like, we can conquer the world. Everybody from the South, we have that pride.
Or they're just not afraid. I feel like, especially being in New York, when they've made it to that part of it, I'm in New York, I might as well not hold back like I would if I was at home. So it's whatever. I shot this one kid that was from Virginia, and I really didn't want to shoot him, but because he was too commercial looking for me or whatever. But I was trying to scare him away. And so I had this octopus that was in the freezer, and it was frozen. And so I thought it out, and I figured if I show him this nasty octopus and tell him he's going to shoot with this, he's going to come running up out of here, and I can call the agency and say, well, he didn't want to shoot with me, but he was up for it. And once he said, I'm up for it, I was excited to work with him. The pictures are amazing, and it was kind of like a game changer for me in New York, and
It made you reconsider.
everything, and it changed how I shot with people and work with people in a sense where I didn't hold myself back either anymore creatively. And this was a chance to, really, like my granddaddy would say, sometimes you just got to put your balls on the table and go for what you know.
Well, thank you for being real with me and sharing all that good, useful information. Don't change that channel. We have another special guest coming up soon.